Welcome to this video presentation and review and update for CWNP. In this brief presentation, we'll talk about what happened in 2014 and what you can expect from CWNP in the year 2015. First of all, CWNA was updated in the summer of 2014. We launched CWNA and also held an inaugural class in North Carolina. It introduced our new naming convention. It was the first certification to use the CWNA-106 naming standard. Now, what this means is that all future exams will be named with item names like CWSP-205, CWDP-302, CWAP-401, and CWTS-072. So by using these kinds of names, it will make it much easier when registering at testing centers to select the appropriate exam, rather than the cryptic PW0 followed by some selected number. So CWNA was the first one, and the others will follow suit this year, as we'll talk about later. There's also a brand new CWNA study guide from David Coleman and David Westcott, which covers all that you'll need to know for CWNA and covers new topics like MDM, BYOD, and of course 802.11ac. There was also an e-learning course created for online learners from around the world so that you can learn the CWNA materials even if you're unable to go to a live training class in your part of the world. More than 1,000 have already passed this new exam and have shown that with the study materials, you can certainly prepare well for the exam and be ready to take it, usually within a 30 to 90 day time frame for someone with some level of experience in the industry. Now, the objectives are available at cwnp.com/certifications/CWNA. Additionally, in 2014, we held our first ever CWNP conference in North Carolina. There were more than 100 in attendance and several representative vendors were there as well. We had a phenomenal time, a lot of different speakers, a lot of different topics. There were actually over 20 speakers, and there were many CWNEs as well as industry leaders that spoke at the event. Gifts were provided to attendees from several vendors. Attendees received wireless access points as well as other devices and resources that were useful to them. It was also an excellent opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. Now, this conference was called 15 Years of Wireless, commemorating the fact that at that point we had gone through about 15 years of not just a standard existing, because that had existed for longer, but rather the certification body of the Wi-Fi Alliance, CWNP, and other organizations that have really helped wireless local area networking excel in our organizations and our businesses today. The next thing that was big last year is the release of a CWTS e-learning program and then a CWNA e-learning program. Both available at CWNP.com to be purchased, and once purchased, they are simply part of your profile so that you can go up to My Account at the website and choose your learning resources that are available to you. And this gives you access then to lessons when you go to My Account and My Lessons, such as CWTS and CWNA. In the future, there will be e-learning available for other certifications and other resources as well. The e-learning is video-based. There are pre-tests and post-tests to the e-learning to test your knowledge of that particular section. These should not be misconstrued to be practice exams because they are not written in the formal manner that real exam items are developed for. And so instead, you want to think of these pre-test and post-test questions as learning tests. So it's testing whether you're learning the material, whether you already know it before you go through the section, and whether you learned it or not after the section. But they're very helpful in retention of knowledge. All of this is available, of course, through the CWNP.com website. Now, some additional notes of worth from 2014 include that we passed the 150 mark for CWNEs. So there are now over 150 CWNEs, and at the time of this recording, we're actually getting close to 160. We also recruited and initiated an in-house technical writing team last year. So we have multiple people working in-house for us with writing projects ranging from developing study guides and courseware to blog posts and video content So we have all of these different types of technical documents and resources that we need to create, and we now have an in-house technical team to help us with that. We also participated in several conferences and events last year so that we can get our name and brand out there and build greater awareness within the industry. And the last big thing here is that we delivered 7 webinars on 802.11 technical topics last year, and the average attendance at those webinars was over 150. And then those webinars have been viewed, many of them by well over 1,000 different people online in their archives. And those webinars are archived at CWNP TV. That's the channel at YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, do a search for CWNP TV, all one word, you will find the channel. In fact, this very video is at that channel as well. So why not go ahead and click on it below and subscribe. Now, let's talk about our 2015 update. We've reviewed 2014. Let's see what's going to happen in 2015. First of all 3 professional level certifications are going to be updated this year. That means new exams, new training materials, new study guides. All of these materials will be developed by CWNP and made available at CWNP.com and other outlets where you can get study guides and things like that. In addition to updating CWSP, CWDP, and CWAP, we will be updating CWTS as well. And so actually, by the end of 2015, all 5 of our testable certifications will have been updated in about a 12 to 18 month window of time. Now, I say all 5 testable because the CWNT and the CWNE are not certifications that you take tests in order to acquire them. The CWNT, you have to prove your training prowess and abilities, and the CWNE, you have to prove your work experience and value add to the wireless local area networking industry. But all of these testable exams will be updated by the end of the year. Now, in addition, we're going to do another conference this year. Remember, last year we did it in North Carolina, had over 100 in attendance. It was an excellent first conference for CWNP. Well, our next conference will be in the beautiful city of San Francisco, California. There will be more speakers, more topics, and all in that city. We'll have a great keynote plan for you and even special events for CWNEs. It's going to be September the 24th through the 26th this year. And there are some important things you need to know about it. First of all, there's a coupon code that can give you 20% off the conference, CWNP 2015. So make sure you use that when you register at the website. I'll be giving you the link to the registration page in a moment. When you attend this conference, which we're calling Wi-Fi Trek this year, in accordance with the branding of our organization and our parent publishing company, CertiTrek Group, which is involved in providing all of our publishing resources for us here at CWNP. So what you're going to find then is that there are key conference topics like mobile device management, Wi-Fi attack methods, and troubleshooting and network analysis all there. The conference pricing is kept low at $1,200, and there will be attendees ranging from CIOs and CTOs to CWNEs and network administrators in general who want to learn more about Wi-Fi and see what CWNP is all about at the same time. Additionally, we're accepting sponsors for the conference by emailing marketing@cwnp.com, and you can get more information at that same email address. The registration URL is shown here at the bottom, cwnp.com/2015nationalconference.php. That is the location where you can register for the event. Now, also, we'll be using the hashtag of Wi-Fi Trek 2015 throughout the year as we announce various different things, but also the day of the event in September when we get there. Now, in addition to all of this, we'll have more free webinars throughout this year. So starting late in the month of February, we'll have a webinar on wireless LAN security concerns. What are the big issues related to security in wireless LANs these days? We'll talk about then the next month building a wireless LAN security lab. How can you get the parts and pieces together to help you prepare for the CWSP exam? Well, as you might have guessed, the third one, preparing for the new CWSP exam, is because there will be a new CWSP exam. So these first 3 are all building up to that release of the CWSP exam to help you prepare. Then we'll talk about wireless LAN design in an 802.11 AC world. As you might have guessed, that's a webinar aimed at helping you prepare for the new release of CWDP. Then we'll have a webinar on 3 common Wi-Fi problems and how to troubleshoot them. You might also guess that is a webinar aimed at helping you prepare for CWAP, which is going to be revamped to focus more on troubleshooting than just on memorizing frame bits and bytes. And so while you'll need to know the frames, the real focus of that exam is going to become you and you as a master troubleshooter in Wi-Fi. And then the final webinar that we have planned at this time is Basic Networking Knowledge Required for Wireless LAN Professionals. You might have guessed it, that's a prep webinar related to CWTS. So this also reveals to you a bit about what you can expect as far as releases for these new exams. CWSP, then CWDP, then CWAP, and finally CWTS, all being released throughout the year of 2015. Additional notes of worth you'll want to know about. First of all, there will be special training to be released in the fourth quarter of 2015. Now, this is going to be online training, roughly 60 to 90 minutes in length, and they'll be focused on specific job tasks and job roles for CWNP certified professionals. For example, it might be a 60 to 90 minute video that walks you through setting up a public key infrastructure and a radius server and implementing an EAP type. So all of the steps involved in that in one training course. There will be training courses on how to use different protocol analyzers for troubleshooting purposes and things like that. So they'll be very focused, very on task, and there'll be courses to help you for those very specific skills that you need to learn on the job. Also, we'll have more third-party conference attendance than ever before this year. That is that CWNP will be represented at many different conferences throughout the world. In the past, we've tried to get to 2 or 3 each year. This year, we're more than doubling that. And then finally, there's a new brand identity, renewed focus on the core that matters to our customers, and more awareness in the marketplace. So the new brand identity is all about the fact that CWNP is moving forward, creating all of our certification preparation materials to help you be prepared for our exams, making sure that they meet your needs, and also going forward with awareness building around the world through conferences, through webinars, and through other means of getting the word out about CWNP. Well, as you can see, quite a lot happened in 2014. We have a lot planned for 2015. And I hope that this update video helps build some excitement in you that we already have here at CWNP. We're greatly looking forward to this year, excited about the conferences we'll be attending, the training classes that will be happening around the world by our learning partners and CWNTs, and all the many thousands that will be gaining certifications through CWNP in the year 2015.